JBN, we keep you informed. Body found in shallow grave in Yalas. Another body of a man has been found buried in a shallow grave in St. Thomas. The discovery was made sometime after 1 p.m. yesterday afternoon at a yard in Pondside, Yalas. The body is believed to be that of a 24-year-old resident who was reported missing a few weeks ago by his relatives. The scene was processed by the police. Last Thursday, the body of a man was found buried in a shallow grave near the Yalas Pond. The discovery came as relatives were searching for a family member who had been missing for 2 weeks. The body was subsequently exhumed and a probe launched. Clarendon man charged for killing 18-year-old with a stone. The police in Clarendon say they have charged 34-year-old farmer Aaron McFarlane in connection to the death of 18-year-old Demoy Watson. According to the police, on October 17th, both men who are of Iron Gate district addresses in Clarendon had a dispute. Watson allegedly used a machete to inflict wounds to McFarlane. It is alleged that McFarlane subsequently used a stone to hit Watson in the head. The police were called and Watson was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Two charged after ganja seizure worth $2.6 million. Two men were arrested and later charged after the vessel they were on was intercepted by the Jamaica Defence Force Coast Guard off the shore of Negril, Westmoreland on Tuesday, October 22. The men have been identified as 36-year-old Shamar Hamilton, a taxi operator of Smithfield in Westmoreland, and a 32-year-old Perry Denmark of Runaway Bay in St. Anne. Reports are that about 3 p.m., the vessel was searched and approximately 650 pounds of compressed ganja was found on board. The drug has an estimated street value of 2.6 million Jamaican dollars. According to the narcotics police, the men were charged jointly with the offenses of possession of ganja, dealing in ganja, taking steps preparatory to exporting ganja, conspiracy, and use of conveyance. The accused men were scheduled to appear in the Westmoreland Parish Court on Wednesday, October 30. St. Anne cops freed of abduction, rape, and other charges. Two policemen who were charged with raping a woman in Runaway Bay, St. Anne last year have been freed in court. Constable George Richards and District Constable Andre Oilet were charged following a ruling from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions on June 1, 2018. When the case came of a mention in the St. Anne Circuit Court last Thursday, no further evidence was offered by prosecutors, as the complainant in the case could not be located. The investigating officer also detailed her unsuccessful efforts in trying to locate the complainant. As a result, presiding judge Justice Martin Gale freed the two cops. According to reports on the police's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, at the time, the two police officers were alleged to have sexually assaulted the woman in the Runaway Bay area on the night of May 21, 2018. The offense was alleged to have taken place while the policemen, who are attached to the Runaway Bay police station, were on duty in the area. A report was made to the police and an investigation was launched, resulting in the policemen being taken into custody the following day. In addition to later being charged for rape, the lawmen were slapped with a count each for forcible abduction and illegal possession of firearm in relation to the case. Richards and Oilet were subsequently offered bail in the sum of $300,000 each. St. Anne woman nabbed attempting to import cocaine. The police say they have arrested and charged a woman following the seizure of approximately 0.4 kilograms of cocaine at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston on Saturday, October 26. Charge is 52-year-old Sophia Clark, a vendor for Monique St. Anne address. According to the police's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, Clark arrived in the island about 1:30 p.m. on a flight from Suriname, and during screening, the cocaine with an estimated street value of Jamaica $500,000 was found concealed on her person. Clark has been charged with possession of cocaine, importing cocaine, and conspiracy to import cocaine. She is scheduled to appear before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday, November 5, the CCU said. Wiretap deal used to catch Dudus discontinued. The secret Memorandum of Understanding MOU that was used as a basis for intercepting Christopher Dudus Coke's telephone conversations has been discontinued. Dr. Horace Chang, Jamaica's National Security Minister, told Parliament on Tuesday that the arrangement, which was inked by Dr. Peter Phillips on the country's behalf in 2004, was not on sound legal footing. Early last year, the highest court in the land, the Jamaica Supreme Court, found that this MOU was unsatisfactory and inadequate, Chang said, as he revealed that the pact with the U.S. has ended. Given the legal implications, we had to discontinue any work under the MOU. The Ministry of National Security, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Attorney General's chambers embarked on intensive negotiations to ensure that we had an agreement that satisfied the lawful requirements of Jamaica, Chang said. Phillips, as National Security Minister, signed the MOU in 2004 to allow the U.S. to intercept the communication of persons suspected of narco-trafficking, gun running, money laundering, and the violent crimes associated with such offenses. Koch, in 2011, initially challenged the legality of the MOU but abandoned that course. He later pleaded guilty to gun running in the U.S., where he is serving a 23-year sentence. The 50-year-old is due to be released in 2030. 381 criminal gangs nationally, with some 9,000 members, says Chang. There are 381 criminal gangs that have been identified as operating in Jamaica, with a membership of approximately 9,000, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has indicated. Chang gave the figures during a ministerial statement he made in the House of Representatives on Tuesday as an update on the anti-gang measures being pursued by the government. Specifically, the minister was given an update on the parliamentary review, which is aimed at strengthening the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organization Act of 2014, which is more popularly known as the anti-gang legislation. He said that of the 381 existing gangs, 77 are active. Gangs are the cause of nearly 70% of the homicides in this country, he said, adding that the gangs are the number one cause of crime and violence nationally. The data suggests that as at August of this year, there were 381 gangs responsible for committing the most heinous crimes locally and also mobilizing transnational criminal activities, Chang stated. He pointed to the recent collapse of the prosecution's case, which resulted in 19 alleged members of the Westmoreland-based Dexter Street Gang being set free after a key witness was reportedly killed. The police have indicated that the witness refused to be part of the witness protection program. The security minister said witness management is a crucial part of the process that can have direct impact and implications on the outcomes of gang-related cases. It has become public knowledge that the challenge faced by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions DPP to successfully prosecute alleged members of the Dexter Street Gang hinged on the availability and credibility of witnesses, said Chang. Eyewitness information and witness management are critical elements in ensuring successful prosecution and disrupting the gangs. As such, he said persons who come forward to testify against gang members must be assured that they and their loved ones will be protected. However, the minister conceded that the added challenge in managing this type of witness is that in anti-gang investigations, the same witness is usually a person pulled from the criminal mix. Chang said, based on the lessons learned from the experience of the Dexter Street Gang case, additional support will have to be given to witnesses going forward. He said despite the reported demise of the witness in the case involving the alleged Dexter Street Gang members, the Witness Protection Program has an impeccable record, with only one witness being lost in the program in over 20 years. That witness was said to have deviated from the instructions within the program. Meanwhile, Chang described the current state of affairs as an ongoing process. He said there are 14 gang-related cases still to come in the courts, and the trial of the Eugene Wilson gang should be finished within a few weeks. We will begin the trial of Tesha Miller in another week or two, and there are several others, said Chang. Among other measures being looked at to address the situation involving gangs are plea bargaining, identifying and establishing parameters for addressing the professional, legal, and financial facilitators of gangs, and the voluntary nature of witnesses' engagement and participation. The security minister also told the House that the DNA database should be ready within the coming weeks, at which time Jamaica will boast the most modern forensic lab in the region. Jamaica paying high price for discrimination against gays, says Capri. Head of the Caribbean Policy Research Institute, Capri, Dr. Damien King, says Jamaica has been paying dearly for its discrimination against the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual community. According to King, the marginalization of LGBT persons in the island has caused them to fear coming forward to seek help with HIV/AIDS treatment and that scenario presents a serious financial threat to national life. Each untreated case of HIV costs $500,000. It is estimated that a HIV-positive person is likely to pass it on to 2 or 3 persons in the absence of treatment. Carrying that all the way downstream means that an additional person will become infected because one person is not properly treated, King said. We end up with a cost of $35 billion for each cohort that is not treated. He added at a Capri forum on the cost of sexuality-based discrimination in Jamaica at the Knutsford Court Hotel in St. Andrew on Tuesday. There's further strain on the health sector, considering that the incidence of mental health illnesses in the local LGBT community at 69% is 3 times that of the general population, King said. Treating mental health costs Jamaica about $5 billion each year, only a third of which is public cost. The rest is a private cost, King said. He also noted that the country was missing out on tourism dollars because of hostility towards homosexuals. Capri is also adamant that the archaic buggery law should be wiped from the law books. The institute also called on the media and employers to play their part in making acceptance of openly gay persons the norm rather than the exception. In the meantime, the executive director of the Equality for All Foundation Jamaica, Javion Nelson, has admitted that despite the staunch anti-gay sentiment that still lingers, Jamaica has improved immensely in terms of attitude towards persons who choose to engage in same-sex relationships. Every country must improve, and Jamaica has improved. We still have a far way to go, however, Nelson said. The most recent national survey of attitudes and perceptions of Jamaicans towards same-sex relationships in 2012 indicated that Jamaicans have grown more tolerant of gays, but the majority are still opposed to the homosexual lifestyle. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news updates.